One man's tea is another man's poison. That's how it is with artwork, isn't it? It's very subjective. I'm here at the beautiful Louvre in Paris. I was here many, many years ago, and I walked up to the Mona Lisa, and I knew I was supposed to be overwhelmed by it in just disbelief of its brilliance, but I found it just to be okay. I much prefer Thomas Kincaid and his beautiful scenery. Cards are the same way. There are some cards that a lot of you find gorgeous and beautiful. You couldn't give them to me. Well, I acquired a taste, however, for this next gentleman. Philippine collector. He is my guest this week on Why We Collect Who We Collect. When I first saw his collection and display of the Philippine cards, I was like, what is this? But then I couldn't wait for his next episode. I really acquired a taste for it. So beautiful. Take a look and let's see why he collects who he collects.
Thank you for having me, Daniel. I know it must not be easy to find the time to do these interviews in between all your harrowing adventures that you're always finding yourself on. But I must thank you for having me be one of the topics of your interviews. It really is quite an honor to be interviewed by someone as classy as yourself. For your first question here, why I collect pieces representing the Philippines? Well, it's actually quite easy, as it's a tale of passion. For Mrs. Philippines' collection was born in the Philippines, a native Filipina, and as our relationship progressed, I just had to learn more about the history of the Philippines. And to make a long story short, I found myself doing so by incorporating it into my collecting personality. Whether it be modern pieces or pre-war pieces, anything that's able to tell the story of the Philippines is a welcome addition to the Philippines collection, as each individual piece, no matter how big or small, tells its own story, whether it be historical facts of the Philippines or how people just viewed other Filipinos back in that time period. Then to be able to bring all these pieces and document them, archive them on my YouTube channel, it's quite the exquisite experience, and I wouldn't have it any other way. Next, you ask to share a unique story pertaining to a single piece. Now, it's quite hard to pick just one, but I think I found one of my favorite, not just due to the subject matter on the front, but also of that on the back. This here being a 1920s Glorias del Cine Juan Terena card, and this set of cards is representing famous Hollywood stars from the 1920s era. And Juan Terena here was a famous Filipino soccer player who then transitioned into becoming a famous Hollywood actor. A feat that not many can achieve, going from being a professional athlete to being a professional actor, and then to be represented on such a rare set of cards. Well, I think that's quite special. But it doesn't end there, as on the back of this card, we can see that this advertises for a hat shop in Spain. Now, this card could have multiple potential advertising backs, 10 plus, but this one here is special, as you might think, due to this card being from the 1920s, that this hat shop being advertised is no longer up and running. Though, you'd be wrong, as this hat shop still exists and you can still go there and acquire a hat to this day. it gets even more special, as at the bottom of the card here, it advertises that you could take this card in and use it as a coupon to receive 10% off your purchase. And that just makes me wonder if I could take in this card from the 1920s to this hat shop today and still receive that 10% discount. What a story that could be. And with that hat shop still being up and running to this day, it makes the story that this card tells a continuous story that has yet to end. And to have it as part of my collection is indescribably special. Well, I think that is all of the questions that you had for me then. But before we wrap it up here, I just wanted to thank you yet again, Daniel, as I know there's many others in this hobby space that you could have chosen to do this interview, and I'm honored that you chose me for it, and I couldn't thank you enough. And you remember earlier how you asked if I had any special stories about my collecting journey? Well, doing this interview here with you has become one of those special stories. But here's where I must wish you happy travels and best of luck on your upcoming adventures.
You know, I could stare at this piece of art until they say the cow jumps over the moon, and I still don't like it. But I'll tell you what I did like. I did like Ethan's Philippine collection. How romantic that he started that collection out of love for Mrs. Philippine's collector. Ah, love. Did you enjoy that episode of Why We Collect Who We Collect? Ethan, the pleasure was all mine. Join us next time on Classy Sports Cards.